Commander Davik stood tall on the bridge of the dominant claw, his 4 eyes scanning the vast, star-filled darkness. The massive Trizalian warship hummed with power around him. His scaled skin gleamed under the blue lights as he clicked his mandibles in amusement. "Show me this human vessel again," he ordered. His first officer, Nivak, brought up the holographic display. The small human ship looked insignificant against the backdrop of space. "That is what everyone fears." Davik laughed, the sound echoing through the command center. "The mighty Galactic Council warns us about this." For centuries, the Council had told all spacefaring races to be careful around human ships. The official warning was clear: approach human vessels with caution. Their technology, while primitive, operates on principles that defy conventional understanding. Most species followed this rule. Stories spread across the galaxy about strange things happening when others attacked human ships. Some said the human vessels could absorb energy. Others claimed they could predict attacks before they happened. A few even whispered that human ships were alive somehow. Davik thought it was all nonsense. His people, the Trizalians, were natural conquerors. Their technology was the most advanced in 3 sectors of the galaxy. The dominant claw itself could destroy entire planets with its main weapon. What could one small human ship possibly do against such power? "Commander," Nivak said, "perhaps we should consider the warnings. There are many accounts." "Accounts?" Davik cut him off. "Tales told by cowards to explain their failures. I see opportunity here, Nivak. This unclaimed star system is rich in resources. If we show we can defeat humans easily, other species will think twice before challenging our expansion." The human ship was called the Horizon according to their scans. It had been mapping the 4th planet in the system for 3 days. It was alone, far from human space. "Set course to intercept," Davik ordered. "Battle stations." As the massive Trizalian ship changed direction, Science Officer Zekla approached Davik with caution. "Commander, our scans show something unusual about the human vessel," she said. "There are energy patterns we cannot identify. They seem to flow between the ship and the humans inside it." Davik waved his upper limb dismissively. "All species have unique technology. It makes no difference." But Zekla persisted. "The patterns suggest a connection unlike anything we've documented. It's as if—" She hesitated. "Speak, Science Officer." "It's as if the ship and crew are somehow linked. Not mechanically or through computers, but at a deeper level. Almost like a living bond." This caught Davik's attention, but only briefly. Interesting but irrelevant. No bond will save them from our weapons. What Davik didn't understand was that human ships were truly special. When humans first reached for the stars, they discovered something by accident. Human brainwaves could interact with certain materials and energy fields. Over generations, they developed technology that created a two-way connection between ships and their crews. The Horizon wasn't just a vessel carrying humans. It was partially alive, aware in its own way. It could feel through the crew, and they could feel through it. The ship's systems were extensions of their thoughts and emotions. This symbiosis gave human ships abilities that seemed impossible to other races. As the dominant claw approached, Captain Song of the Horizon was already aware of the danger. She felt it through her connection to her ship. "Unknown vessel approaching fast," reported Officer Kim. "Weapons active." Song nodded calmly. She had served on 5 different ships in her career. Each bond was unique, but the Horizon had become like part of her own body after 3 years as its captain. "Open communications," she ordered. The face of Commander Davik appeared on their main screen. The Trizalian looked confident, almost amused. "Human vessel," he said, "this system now belongs to the Trizalian hegemony. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." Song kept her voice even. "This is Captain Song of the Earth ship Horizon. We are conducting peaceful exploration in unclaimed space, recognized as neutral by the Galactic Council." Davik's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of Trizelian laughter. The Council's authority ends where our weapons begin. You have 1 minute to surrender. The screen went dark. Song sighed. This wasn't her first encounter with aggressive aliens. All crew, deep sync, she ordered. Defensive pattern Omega. Throughout the ship, 23 humans closed their eyes momentarily, deepening their mental connection to the horizon *. Engineering Officer Lee felt the ship's power systems as if they were his own heartbeat. Navigator Park sensed space around them, as if it were an extension of her own body. Weapons Officer Cho didn't just control the ship's defenses, he became them. And Captain Song felt everything, the whole ship becoming like a second skin to her. The horizon itself seemed to awaken more fully, its systems humming with increased awareness. On the dominant claw Davik watched the small human ship with growing impatience. They ignore us, he growled. Fire warning shot. A beam of energy lanced out from the Trizelian vessel, deliberately missing the horizon by a small distance. No response, Commander, reported Nivak. But their energy signature is changing. Davik leaned forward. Explain. The patterns Officer Zekla identified are growing stronger. Energy is flowing more quickly between the crew and the ship's systems. Davik stood. Enough games. Target their engines and fire. The Trizelian weapon fired again, this time aimed directly at the horizon's propulsion systems. The energy beams struck perfectly, but what happened next shocked everyone on the dominant claw's bridge. Instead of exploding or breaking apart, the human ship seemed to absorb the energy. The blue glow spread across its hull, pulsing like a heartbeat. Impossible, Davik shouted. Fire again. 3 more energy beams struck the horizon. Each time, the blue glow grew brighter. The human ship began to move, its speed increasing beyond what the Trizelians had calculated it could achieve. On the horizon, Captain Song and her crew moved as one with their ship. They felt the enemy's energy flow into them, strengthening their systems. The Trizelians don't understand what they've done, Song said softly. They're making us stronger with each attack. This was the secret that made human ships special in the galaxy. Through their unique bond, they could convert enemy attacks into usable energy. What was meant to destroy them became their strength instead. As the horizon began to move in ways that confused Trizelian targeting systems, Davik finally remembered the Council's warning. He realized too late that his overconfidence had led him into danger. The small human ship was now glowing brightly, moving with impossible grace, and turning to face his much larger vessel. For the first time in his long career, Commander Davik felt fear. He finally understood why human ships were special, and why the warnings existed. But the lesson had come too late. Captain Jinwoo stood at the center of the Pathfinder's bridge, his hands clasped behind his back. The stars on the main view screen shifted slowly as the ship maintained its orbit around the 4th planet of the Eridani system. They had spent 3 days mapping the planet's surface, finding rich mineral deposits and unusual plant life that could be valuable for research. Captain, sensors are picking up something, said Officer Yuna from her station. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel. A ship just dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. Jinwoo nodded calmly. Details. The ship is large, very large, Yuna replied. About 5 times our size. Its design matches Trizelian military vessels in our database. Jinwoo felt a slight tingle at the base of his skull. The neural link that connected him to the Pathfinder was sending him sensory data directly. He could feel the distant presence of the alien ship through the ship's long-range sensors. Analysis, Jinwoo said. The ship's AI responded immediately, her voice coming from all around them. Unknown ship approaching at high velocity, Captain. Configuration suggests Trizelian military. Based on energy readings, it appears to be a hegemony battle cruiser, Razor class. The crew exchanged worried glances. The Trizelians were known throughout the galaxy as aggressive expansionists. They had been pushing their borders outward for decades, claiming new territories and resources with little regard for other species. Jinwu remained calm. Estimated time until they reach us. At current speed, 12 minutes, Araya replied. Jinwu nodded. All crew, prepare for potential contact scenario. Sumin, send our identification and peaceful intent on all standard frequencies. Officer Sumin at Communications nodded. Sending now, Captain. No response came from the approaching ship. Jinwu could feel his connection to the Pathfinder deepening as the ship sensed potential danger. It was an automatic response. The neural links that joined the crew to their vessel strengthened in times of stress. He felt the power systems humming beneath his feet as if they were his own heartbeat. They're still coming, Captain, Yuna reported. Increasing speed. Their weapons systems are powering up. Jinwu straightened his uniform, opened communications and prepared defensive systems. On the main screen, the image of stars was replaced by the approaching Trizelian ship. It was impressive. A dark, angular shape that seemed to swallow light rather than reflect it. The fractured obsidian hull was designed to scatter sensor scans, making it difficult to get clear readings on the vessel's capabilities. Trizelian vessel, this is Captain Jinwu of the Earth ship Pathfinder *, he said clearly. We are conducting peaceful exploration in unclaimed space. Please state your intentions. There was a long pause before the screen changed again. The face that appeared made several crew members flinch. The Trizelian commander had 4 eyes set in a triangular face, with clicking mandibles where a human mouth would be. His scaled skin was a deep purple color that shifted slightly in the light. I am Commander Davik of the Trizelian hegemony, the alien said, his voice translated by the ship's systems. Human vessel, you are trespassing in future Trizelian territory. Surrender your ship or be destroyed. Jinwu felt a flash of irritation but kept his face neutral. Through the neural link, he sensed the Pathfinder responding to his emotion, power subtly shifting to the defensive systems. Commander Davik, Jinwu said politely, this system is unclaimed space under the Galactic Charter, which your government has signed. We are conducting peaceful exploration, as is our right. Perhaps we could share our findings. We've discovered mineral deposits that could be beneficial to both our peoples. The Trizelian's mandibles clicked rapidly. A sign that humans had learned indicated irritation or dismissal. Without another word, the communication cut off, leaving the view of the approaching vessel on screen. That went well, Officer Min said dryly from the tactical station. Jinwu turned to him. Status of their weapons. Fully powered, Captain. Their main cannon is charging. Jinwu closed his eyes briefly, focusing on his connection to the ship. He could feel every crew member through the neural network. 26 minds, all linked to the Pathfinder's systems. They were alert, ready, their training keeping fear at bay. All crew, prepare for deep sync, Jinwu ordered. Araya, activate defensive protocol echo. Throughout the ship, the crew strengthened their neural connections. The feeling was different for each person. Some described it as a warmth spreading through their bodies, others as a heightened awareness of their surroundings. For Jinwu, it always felt like becoming larger, as if his consciousness expanded to fill the entire vessel. They're targeting us, Min reported, his voice steady despite the danger. Energy readings suggest their main weapon is capable of breaking through standard shielding. Jinwu nodded. The Trizelians clearly weren't interested in talking. Hold position. Do not power weapons yet. Some of the newer crew members looked at him with surprise, but the veterans understood. Human ships had advantages that weren't immediately obvious to other species. Captain, said Yuna urgently. They're firing. On the screen, a bright beam of energy burst from the front of the Trizelian ship, cutting through space toward them. Jinwu didn't flinch. He felt the Pathfinder preparing itself, its systems adjusting without any need for manual commands. "Brace," he said calmly. The energy beam struck the Pathfinder directly. The ship shuddered, but instead of explosions or damage, something very different happened. The point of impact glowed blue, and that glow spread across the hull like water rippling in a pond. Through the neural link, Jinwoo and the crew felt a sudden surge of energy. It wasn't painful. Instead, it was invigorating, like taking a deep breath after being underwater. The ship's systems, which were extensions of their own nervous systems, absorbed the attack and converted it into usable power. Energy conversion at 92% efficiency, AIR reported. All systems experiencing power increase. Hull integrity at 100%. Jinwoo smiled slightly. This was why human ships were feared and respected across the galaxy. The neural link between crew and vessel allowed them to adapt in ways mechanical systems alone never could. The technology had been discovered accidentally during early space exploration, when scientists found that human brainwaves could stabilize certain energy fields. Over generations, this had evolved into ships that were partly alive, sharing a conscious bond with their crews. On the view screen, the Trezalian ship hung in space. Jinwoo imagined Commander Davik's confusion as he realized his powerful weapon had apparently done nothing to the smaller human vessel. "They're scanning us," Min reported. "Intensive energy readings. I think they're trying to figure out what happened." Jinwoo nodded. "Let's give them something more to think about." "Su Min, open a channel." The Trezalian commander's face appeared again, his 4 eyes wide with what Jinwoo guessed was surprise. "Commander Davik," Jinwoo said calmly, "as you can see, we're still here. I would like to suggest we try talking again instead of fighting. This doesn't need to escalate further." Davik's mandibles clicked rapidly. "What trickery is this?" "Our sensors confirmed direct hit." "No trickery, Commander. Just different technology. Human ships are designed differently than most vessels in the galaxy." Jinwoo kept his tone respectful but firm. "Now shall we discuss peaceful options?" The Trezalian commander stared for a moment. Then the screen went blank. "They're charging weapons again," Min reported. "All batteries this time, not just the main cannon." Jinwoo sighed. "Some species learn the hard way. All crew, prepare for full defensive response. Let's show them why the Galactic Council warns others about human ships." As the Trezalian weapons fired again, the Pathfinder and its crew prepared to teach Commander Davik a lesson he wouldn't soon forget. The bridge of the Pathfinder glowed with soft blue light as the Trezalian energy weapon struck. Instead of tearing through metal and killing everyone inside, something wonderful happened. The energy spread across the ship's hull like water soaking into a sponge. Captain Tawan felt the impact not as pain, but as a surge of power flowing through his body. He gasped, his back straightening as the neural interface at the base of his skull pulsed warmly. Around him, the other crew members experienced the same sensation. Their eyes brightened, and some even smiled despite the danger they faced. "Whoa," whispered Ensign Jun, the youngest crew member. It was his first deep battle sync. "I can feel the ship, and all of you." Taiwan nodded. "That's the bond activating fully. Stay focused." The wall displays showed the Trezalian vessel hanging in space, its weapons still glowing from the recent attack. Commander Davik had just made a serious mistake. He had fired his ship's main weapon at the Pathfinder expecting to see the human vessel break apart. Instead, he had just made them stronger. "Sympathetic resonance at 87% and climbing," reported Lieutenant Sunmi from engineering. Her voice came through clearly, though she was 3 decks below. Through the neural bond, distance within the ship meant little. "The Trezalians just gave us a full charge." Taiwan closed his eyes briefly, feeling the energy flowing through the ship's systems. It wasn't just mechanical anymore. It felt alive. The Pathfinder itself seemed to be breathing. thinking, reacting, and every crew member was part of that awareness. ARIA. Status report, Ta-1 said. The ship's AI responded immediately. Her voice was calm and clear, like another crew member rather than a computer. All systems optimal, Captain. Energy reserves at 127% of standard capacity. Conversion efficiency at 93.4%. Hull integrity at 100%. The secret of human ships was something few other species fully understood. 200 years ago, during early warp drive experiments, scientists had discovered something unexpected. Human brainwaves could stabilize certain quantum field fluctuations that occurred during faster-than-light travel. This discovery had led to neural interfaces that linked pilots directly to their ships. Over generations, the technology had evolved. Modern human vessels weren't just machines carrying people through space. They were partners, forming a true symbiosis with their crews. The neural links allowed human thoughts and emotions to flow into the ship's systems, while the ship's sensors extended human perception far beyond normal limits. And most importantly, these bonds allowed human ships to do what the Pathfinder had just done: absorb enemy attacks and convert them into usable energy. "They're scanning us," reported Officer Min at the tactical station. "I think they're confused." Tai-1 smiled slightly. "I imagine so." Through the neural network, he could feel every crew member's position and status. Engineer Hai-Jin was balancing power flows in the engine room. Navigator Jun was calculating possible evasion patterns if needed. The ship itself was becoming an extension of all their minds working together, creating something greater than any individual. "Captain, they're communicating among their fleet," said Communications Officer Jai-Yun. "I can't decode it all, but they seem alarmed." "How's their weapon status?" Ta-1 asked. "They're preparing to fire again," Min replied. "All secondary batteries this time. They're going to hit us from multiple angles." Tai-1 nodded. "Let them. Area. Optimize energy distribution for multiple impact points." "Understood, Captain." The bridge crew watched as the Trazelian vessel's smaller weapons began to glow. Commander Davik was clearly not giving up easily. "All crew, prepare for second energy conversion," Ta-1 announced through the ship-wide link. This might feel more intense than the first. When the weapons fired, dozens of energy beams struck the Pathfinder simultaneously. The ship's hull glowed brighter with each impact, the blue light pulsing like a heartbeat. Inside, the crew gasped as energy surged through the neural network. For Ta-1, it felt like drinking from a fire hose, raw power flooding into him and then flowing outward to the ship's systems. The sensation wasn't painful, but it was overwhelming. His perception expanded until he could feel the entire vessel as if it were his own body. He could sense the stars around them, the distant planets, and the Trazelian ship itself. "Conversion complete," Araya announced. "Energy reserves at 215% capacity. Warning: storage systems approaching maximum safe levels." Tai-1 opened his eyes. "Then it's time we use some of that energy." Tactical: prepare defensive countermeasures. Navigation: calculate optimal positioning. The Neuralink made traditional controls mostly unnecessary. The crew's thoughts flowed through the ship's systems, making adjustments and calculations faster than hands could move across control panels. The Pathfinder began to move, its engines glowing brightly as it changed position relative to the Trazelian vessel. On the main screen, they could see Commander Davik's ship turning to track them. The Trazelian vessel was massive compared to the Pathfinder but it moved more slowly, its conventional systems limited by physical constraints. "They're trying to get a target lock," Min reported. "But our movement is too unpredictable for their targeting computers." This was another advantage of the neural bond. The Pathfinder didn't move like a machine. It moved like a living thing, with the organic unpredictability of a human mind directing it. Conventional targeting systems struggled to predict where a human ship would go next. Open a channel to the Treselian vessel, Ta-1 ordered. When the connection was established, Commander Davik's face appeared on screen again. The Treselian's 4 eyes were wide, his mandibles clicking rapidly in what the crew recognized as agitation. "This is Captain Ta-1 of the Pathfinder *", he said calmly. "Commander Davik, I urge you to stand down. We have absorbed both your attacks and converted the energy. We don't wish to use that energy against you, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." Davik's translator conveyed his angry response. "What trickery is this? No ship can absorb direct fire from a hegemony cruiser." "No conventional ship," Ta-1 agreed. "But human vessels operate differently. The Galactic Council's warnings about approaching human ships weren't exaggerations, Commander. They were based on encounters like this one." Davik seemed to consider this for a moment. Then his mandibles clicked again. "The hegemony does not retreat. Whatever your technology, you are still outnumbered and outgunned." The communication cut off. Ta-1 sighed. "They're going to try again." "Captain," Sunmei called from engineering, "the energy we've absorbed is putting stress on our containment systems. We need to use some of it soon or vent it safely." Ta-1 nodded. Battle stations. Let's show them why people take those warnings seriously." Throughout the Pathfinder crew members felt the ship's systems shift from defensive to offensive configuration. The excess energy that had been absorbed from the Treselian attacks now flowed into weapons systems that had been dormant until now. The Pathfinder wasn't primarily a warship. It was an exploration vessel with defensive capabilities. But those defenses, when powered by the energy of the Treselian's own weapons, became formidable. "Weapons charged and ready," Min reported. "Target solutions calculated." Ta-1 felt the ship's targeting systems as extensions of his own senses. He could see the Treselian vessel's weak points, the engine housing, the sensor arrays, the weapon emplacements. Through the neural link, the entire crew shared this perception, working together to refine the targeting data. "Let's start with a warning shot," Ta-1 decided. "Target their forward sensor array. Minimum power." The Pathfinder moved again, positioning itself at an optimal angle. Then, from emitters along its hull, it released a fraction of the stored energy in a concentrated beam. The blue light lanced across space, striking the Treselian vessel precisely where Ta-1 had indicated. The impact was small but precise. The sensor array on the Treselian ship sparked and went dark. "Direct hit," Min reported. "Their forward sensors are offline." "Open a channel again," Ta-1 ordered. When Commander Davik's face appeared, he looked much less confident than before. "That was a warning, Commander," Ta-1 said firmly. "We used less than 5% of the energy your own weapons gave us. We don't want to fight, but we will defend ourselves. The choice is yours." As Davik stared silently at them, the crew of the Pathfinder remained united through their neural bond, ready for whatever came next. Commander Davik stared at the main screen in total shock. The human ship should have been destroyed. His weapon had hit it directly. But instead of exploding, the small vessel was now glowing with blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. "What is happening?" he demanded, his voice rising. "Explain this." His crew looked just as confused. The tactical officer, Renza, worked frantically at her station. "Commander, the human ship's energy signature is changing," she reported, her voice shaking. "Our sensors indicate it's reconfiguring at the molecular level." "Impossible," Davik hissed, his mandibles clicking rapidly in anger. "No vessel can change its structure after construction. Fire all secondary batteries." Renza hesitated. "Sir, if our main cannon didn't work." "That's an order," Davik shouted. The weapons officer activated all 12 secondary energy cannons. Beams of green light shot out from different points on the Dominant Claw's hull, all aimed at the glowing human ship. But the Pathfinder was already moving. It changed direction with incredible speed, avoiding half the energy beams completely. The ones that did hit it were absorbed just like the first attack, making the blue glow even brighter. Impossible, Davik whispered again, watching as the human ship moved in ways that made no sense. It changed direction instantly, without the normal turning arc that physics demanded of spacecraft. It accelerated and slowed with no visible engine flare. "Sir, it's moving too fast," the navigator reported. "Our targeting computers can't predict its path." "Then fire a spread pattern," Davik ordered. "Cover every possible direction." The dominant claw released a barrage of energy fire, filling the space around the human ship with deadly beams. It was a tactic that should have caught any vessel, no matter how fast or agile. Yet somehow, the Pathfinder danced between the beams, moving as if it knew where each shot would go before it was fired. The few hits that landed were simply absorbed, adding to the pulsing blue energy field around the ship. Inside the Pathfinder Captain Du-hyun and his crew weren't just operating their ship, they were becoming one with it. The neural links connecting them to the vessel and to each other created a shared consciousness that went beyond normal human experience. Do-hyun could feel the ship's hull as if it were his own skin. He sensed the energy of the Trizalian weapons before they fired. Navigator Park didn't need to look at displays to plot their course. She felt space around them like an extension of her own body. "They're getting desperate," Tactical Officer Sung reported. He didn't need to look at his screens. The information flowed directly into his mind through the neural link. "They're trying to predict our movements." Do-hyun nodded. The crew's thoughts flowed together through the ship's systems, creating something greater than any individual. The Pathfinder moved according to their collective will, with a grace and speed no conventional ship could match. "We need to end this before someone gets hurt," Do-hyun said. The thought had barely formed in his mind when ARIA, the ship's AI, began calculating the optimal target point. "Engine housing on the Trizalian vessel identified," ARIA announced. "Targeting solution ready." "Execute," Do-hyun thought, not needing to speak aloud. The Pathfinder changed position again, moving to an optimal firing angle. Then, from emitters along its hull, it released a concentrated beam of blue energy, the same energy the Trizalians had fired at them, now refined and focused. The beam struck the dominant claw's main engine housing with perfect precision. There was no explosion, no massive damage, just a surgical strike that cut power to the Trizalian ship's propulsion systems. On the bridge of the dominant claw chaos erupted as systems failed across the ship. "Main engines offline," the engineering officer reported. "Backup systems not responding." "Weapons power dropping," added the weapons officer. "We're losing energy throughout the ship." Davik stood frozen, unable to process what was happening. His mighty warship, pride of the Trizalian fleet, had been disabled by a vessel a fraction of its size, and the human ship had done it with just one shot. "How?" he finally asked, his voice barely audible. "How is this possible?" His science officer, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. "The Council warnings, Commander. They weren't exaggerations. Human ships are different." "Different how?" Davik demanded. "Our studies suggest their vessels form some kind of neural bond with their crews," the science officer explained. "They don't just pilot their ships, they become their ships, and somehow that connection allows them to absorb and redirect energy." Davik's 4 eyes blinked slowly as he processed this information. All his life, he had believed that Trizalian technology was superior to all others. His people had conquered 3 star systems with their powerful ships. But now, "Commander," the communications officer interrupted his thoughts. "The human vessel is hailing us." Davik hesitated, then nodded. "Put them through." The face of Captain Du-hyun appeared on the main screen. The human looked calm, not triumphant or angry. "Commander Davik," Du Hyun said. Your engines are disabled, but your life support and essential systems remain functional. We have no desire to cause further damage or casualties. Davik's mandibles clicked slowly, a sign of confusion in Trezalians. You could destroy us. Why don't you? Because that's not our way, Du Hyun replied simply. Humans explore space to learn and connect, not to conquer. We defended ourselves when attacked, but we won't escalate beyond what's necessary. The human captain's words stung Davik's pride. In Trezalian culture, showing mercy was seen as weakness. Yet here was this human, in a ship that had just demonstrated remarkable power, choosing not to use that power for destruction. What do you want? Davik asked. First, a ceasefire, Du Hyun said. Second, recognition that this system remains unclaimed under the Galactic Charter until proper diplomatic channels determine otherwise. Third, an exchange of information. We're willing to share our planetary survey data with you, as we originally offered. Davik was stunned. After being attacked, the humans were still offering to share information. And what do you gain from this? Generosity? He asked suspiciously. Du Hyun smiled slightly. Understanding. We learn from every encounter, Commander. Including this one. The message was clear. The humans had learned about Trezalian weapons and tactics during the brief battle. That knowledge would spread to other human ships. If the Trezalians attacked again, they would find humans even better prepared. Davik looked around his bridge. His mighty warship was drifting, powerless. His crew looked to him for direction. Pride demanded he continue fighting somehow, but reason told him that would only lead to destruction. Very well, he said finally. We accept your terms. Ceasefire granted. Du Hyun nodded. Thank you, Commander. We'll transmit repair instructions that will help you restore basic engine function. It should be enough to get you back to Trezalian space. As the communication ended, Davik sank into his command chair. In a single encounter, everything he thought he knew about power in the galaxy had changed. The Trezalian hegemony had always expanded through superior firepower, but human ships represented something different, a power based not on the strength of weapons, but on the connection between beings and their technology. Send a message to the Hegemony High Command, Davik ordered quietly. They need to know about human ships. The warnings were right all along. Outside, the Pathfinder continued to glow softly as it maintained position near the disabled Trezalian vessel. The crew remained connected through their neural bond, ready to respond if needed, but hopeful that the first step toward understanding had been taken. Commander Davik walked slowly through the corridors of the human ship. 2 human security officers followed at a respectful distance. They didn't carry weapons. They didn't need to. Davik was no threat now, and both species knew it. The hallways of the Pathfinder felt strange to him. Most ships in the galaxy had hard surfaces, practical designs, and clear boundaries between living areas and mechanical systems. This human vessel was different. The walls seemed to pulse with subtle light that changed as people passed by. The floor wasn't cold metal, but a slightly soft material that adjusted to each step. And everywhere, he noticed humans touching the walls, sometimes pausing with their hands flat against surfaces as if communicating with the ship itself. They probably were, he realized. When Davik reached the conference room, Captain Minho was waiting. The human stood as Davik entered, offering a small bow that the translator indicated was a sign of respect, not submission. Davik returned the gesture stiffly. Thank you for coming, Commander, Minho said. Please, sit. Davik lowered himself into the chair designed to accommodate his larger Trezalian frame. The seat adjusted to his body immediately, becoming more comfortable than he expected. Even the furniture on this ship seemed alive. I have no choice but to be here, Davik said, his mandibles clicking softly in irritation. My ship is disabled. My crew is scattered across 3 decks of your vessel. Your crew is comfortable and safe, Minho replied calmly. and they remained together in groups, as we understood would be preferable for Trizelians. This was true, and it annoyed Devik further. The humans had been unfailingly polite and accommodating since disabling the dominant claw 2 days ago. They had evacuated his injured crew members first, provided appropriate food and environments, and even allowed Trizelian officers to maintain their command structure in temporary quarters. Such consideration after a battle was not the Trizelian way. It confused him. The Galactic Council will receive a full report of this incident, Minho explained, her voice level. Your crew will be returned safely once diplomatic representatives arrive. Your ship will take longer to repair. You mean you won't repair it? Devik said bluntly. Minho shook his head. No, we will help with repairs. But the damage is extensive. You did fire your main cannon at full power, and the energy feedback affected many of your systems. Devik stared at the human captain. In his culture, victors didn't help the defeated. They certainly didn't repair enemy vessels. Why? He asked. Why help us after we attacked you? Because that's the approach humans have chosen to take in space, Minho replied simply. We defend ourselves when necessary, but we don't seek conflicts. Davik's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep thought among his species. Everything about this encounter challenged his understanding of power and conquest. His mighty warship had been disabled by a vessel 1/5 its size. The humans had shown strength but used it with restraint. They had offered help instead of destruction. And most confusing of all was their ship itself. The way it had absorbed energy, moved with impossible grace, and struck with perfect precision. It violated everything he knew about spacecraft engineering. How? Davik finally asked, mandibles twitching and barely contained anger and curiosity. How does your vessel do what it does? Minho smiled slightly. Human ships aren't just machines, Commander. They're partners. The warnings weren't about fear. They were about understanding. We don't build our ships. We connect with them. You speak as if they're alive, Davik said. In a way, they are, Minho replied. Not alive like you or me, but not simply objects either. When humans first ventured into space, we discovered something unexpected. Our brain waves could stabilize certain quantum fields that occur during faster-than-light travel. Minho touched the back of his neck where Davik knew the neural interface was located. This discovery led us to develop technology that creates a two-way bond between ship and crew, he continued. Our thoughts flow into the ship's systems, and the ship's sensors extend our perceptions. We become something greater together than either could be alone. Davik leaned forward slightly, and this allows you to absorb weapons fire. Among other things, yes, Minho said. The neural bond allows human ships to convert energy attacks into usable power. What harms most vessels strengthens ours. Davik sat back, his outer carapace clicking softly as he processed this information. The council warnings make more sense now. They were trying to prevent exactly what happened to us. Minho nodded. The warnings weren't meant to frighten other species. They were meant to prevent unnecessary conflicts. Most races learn about human ships through diplomacy. Some, like yours, learn through direct experience. The implied message was clear, the hard way. The Trizelian hegemony has expanded through strength for centuries, Davik said. We believed our technology was superior to all others. Different isn't always better or worse, Minho replied. Just different. Your ships are powerful and impressive. They serve your needs well. Our ships reflect our approach to space, exploration and connection rather than domination. A chime sounded softly. Minho looked up briefly, then nodded, though no one had spoken. Your ships talk to you, Davik asked. In a way, Minho said. That was ARIA, our ship's AI, letting me know the Galactic Council representatives will arrive tomorrow rather than in 3 days. Good news, your crew will be able to return to your vessel sooner. Davik's mandibles clicked in what humans might interpret as a sigh. My superiors will not be pleased with this outcome. Perhaps, Minho said, but they will learn important information about human vessels that could prevent future misunderstandings. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from unexpected encounters. After the meeting ended, a human officer named Jun escorted Davik back to his temporary quarters. As they walked, Davik noticed more details about the Pathfinder that he had missed before. The ship seemed to respond to the humans around it. Lights brightened subtly as they approached and dimmed after they passed. Air temperature adjusted in different sections. Even the sounds of the ship, the hum of systems, the soft tones of communications, seemed to shift and change like music rather than machinery. Davik observed how Officer Jun ran his fingers along a wall panel as they walked, a gesture that seemed almost affectionate. The panel glowed slightly brighter at his touch. "You care for this ship," Davik said, not as a question but an observation. Jun nodded. "The Pathfinder is part of our crew, not just a vessel that carries us. We feel what it feels, and it responds to our needs and emotions. Like a living being," Davik said. "Like a partner," Jun corrected gently. "Different than us, but equal in importance." As they reached his quarters, Davik paused at the door. "In Trezalian culture, ships are tools of power, nothing more. We build bigger, stronger vessels to dominate space and other species." Jun considered this. "And has that approach brought your people happiness? True connection with the universe?" The question caught Davik off guard. Trezalians rarely considered such concepts. Power, territory, dominance. These were the values his people pursued. Happiness and connection were not terms used in military or political discussions. "I do not know," he admitted. Jun smiled. "Perhaps that's something to consider during your journey home." As the door closed behind him, Davik moved to the viewport in his temporary quarters. Outside, he could see his own ship, the mighty Dominant Claw now dark and powerless. Repair crews, both human and Trezalian, worked on its damaged sections. Beyond it, the stars stretched into infinity. For the first time in his long career, Davik wondered if there might be more than one way to approach that vastness. The Trezalian way had always been to conquer, to own, to control. The human way, it seemed, was to connect, to understand, to become part of something larger. Davik placed one clawed hand against the wall of the Pathfinder. He felt nothing special, no response, no connection. The ship recognized him as a visitor, not crew. But he understood now what the Galactic Council had tried to warn his people about. Human ships were special, not just technologically, but philosophically. They represented a fundamentally different approach to exploring the stars. And the Trezalians had indeed found out the hard way.